Hello again, everyone, and welcome to... Get Served! The podcast-style mission updates you also desperately crave. Don't worry, I got you. Just a quick reminder to subscribe and check the playlist, just in case you missed one of my previous episodes. Also, you like my shirt? Anyways, do I even need to transition? It's the first week of July, so we all know I'll be up for some Star-Spangled Service. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave fast o'er the land of elder Cox and his monthly podcast. Oh, thank you. Sorry, guys. Just singing my heart out there for... Wait, you want to know about my week? Come on, man. I was just about to get into Troy the Beautiful. But fine. It has been interesting this week. So let's get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty of my service mission in the first week of July. On Wednesday, we had some insane supply shortages at the Bishop's Storehouse. But not a shortage of food, a shortage of carts. I'm not joking, we used every single cart in that building, and even more. I took a picture of the makeshift genius Brother Wally used. A long platform cart with 2 cardboard boxes stacked on it. It somehow worked. And so we were able to get everything in a cart at once for these very hungry folks. I, on the other hand, was not going hungry that day. Because Tuesday, I got to eat good at the Mills wedding reception. The bride came to institute a few times. And I guess that's all you gotta do these days to get an invitation. Something we didn't expect was that the card my mom got at the drugstore would say, "I love you, always and forever," on it.
We made it work, though.
And they had amazing food. Although we had to wait in quite the line for the good stuff. Tropical style with meat and desserts. Also, dancing and a "how long have you been married for" contest. My grandparents got 3rd place. And after that, we headed to the nearby Galleria to grab the new Mac Mini for my dad's work. Yeah, his warehouse surely won't come up again later on. But at least that's where we were trying to go. Because on Thursday, I was headed all the way out to Sutter to a distribution with U.S. Sutter Food Bank. At least, that's what I thought. But Google Maps accidentally turned 7740 Butte House Road into 7740 West Butte Road. You might be thinking, oh, big deal. You go to the west end of the street and then turn around. Except that West Butte Road is at the literal West Butte, on the other side of the mountains. And since the address is still technically in Sutter, I had no clue until I pulled up to an old industrial park inside the mountains and said, "Nope, this ain't it." I learned that day to never trust Google Maps with my directions. To every other mapping service under the sun, consider this free promo. Thankfully, I didn't need directions to get to the recycling center. Yeah, every year we raise money for 4th of July fireworks from the CRV return on recycling, which we pick up from family every year. I think this year we only raised $50 since we started so late. But my mom was generous and quadrupled our budget to 200 big ones. We got a decent selection of fireworks, and we bought from the YCHS stand to support the band, who's going back to Disney this year with the orchestra. And now comes the day when we set those fireworks off. First, though, we headed out to the church building for a special 4th of July breakfast. It was yummy, and there was even a costume contest. Our family had a good showing, being Lady Liberty, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Betsy Ross in character. After that, we headed down to Baked Industries, my dad's work. Yeah, the one I said wasn't gonna be important. I lied! It was fun. We went there to have a barbecue with the family, including the use of the building's really cool ice cream machine, and set off fireworks with my cousin Alex. My Uncle Joe DJ'd, and we even got people shooting more off down the street. Nice. So, buckle in, everyone. This month was one of the craziest yet. Just so much interesting stuff going on. Useful for shorts, if I do say so myself. Yeah, these videos are quite literally the foundation for all those short-form adventures. And this week, there were solid foundations, but awful defense.
DeCantelaro knocks it away. Tim Ream can't block it. And unless video review says this is a foul from behind on Ream.
Oh, baby, what a segue. Anyways, let's jump into the next week for more unexpected hijinks. First up, on Monday, I went to groundskeep and saw the Worstons? The Service Mission Advisors? Yeah. They usually work in the Sacramento Temple, but today they decided to hit up Feather River. That alone would be insane. But then they really shook things up by taking me out to lunch. Just a great time with them on a boring Monday. They asked me some questions about my new schedule coming up in August for the 6-month anniversary and how the current one's been going. We went to the Yuba City Sourdough & Co., where I got their awesome flatbread pizza and nearly remembered to snap a picture. 'Cause I knew you wouldn't believe me. Also on Monday, and also involving pizza, some of our neighbors decided to host a World Cup watch party. I've been getting way too into the World Cup this year. We were even planning on seeing it in person in Santa Clara at some point, until we saw those prices. So we headed out to Pizza Roundup and enjoyed their amazing pizza pies while watching an objectively not awesome World Cup match. Our US national team did horribly and got eliminated from the tournament. Seriously, the goalie, I can't even make this up. 4-1? Also, we talked with some of our neighbors we haven't caught up with for a while. One of them was interested in working with the Family History Center to find her family. You'll love to see it. But next up, Tuesday. Institute was canceled, so me and my mom decided to bring back our Treat and Temple Tuesday. On Tuesdays, we would go to the Feather River Temple and do some work for the dead, and then grab some dinner on the way home. But we had to stop it when my mission started since I was way too busy for that. But this week, we did initiatories in the temple and then tried out this new Mexican place in Yuba City called El Forastero. I wasn't expecting much, but they were awesome and had food to match. My goodness, the culinary diversity of the area. American, Mexican, Indian, and even Chinese populations in the Yuba Center area all bring with them their banger food that hits just right. Oh, yeah, and it's the temple work. spiritual. Yeah. That should have been the main focus. But I love Mexican food, though. Not a ton happened in the middle of the week, but the weekend was packed. Starting with Friday, my mom had work off and joined me for the U.S. Sutter Food Bank Brownsville Foothills distribution. We love going up there, as so many of our friends live in that area. And this one just had a ton of cool things going on, like seeing Derek, our old investigator friend, and the fact that they happen to get their milk from the Bishop's Storehouse. Like where I work. What? It all comes full circle, guys. Also, we went to nearby Collins Lake for ice cream, as we always like to do when we're up here. Fun morning. And finally, Saturday. For context, my Nana was out of town and her cat won't feed itself, so she needed someone to come feed it, and that someone was me. I went over to her house that afternoon and decided to stay there to watch England playing Norway in the World Cup. Nana's from England, so they've been one of the teams we're rooting for, especially after America got knocked out on Monday. It was looking to be an exciting match that I didn't want to miss, and it was more perfect because the date was 7/11. Yeah. Free Slurpee Day! There's a 7-Eleven just a few blocks down from her house, so I went ahead and snagged my free Slurpee before the match. Oh yeah, and I fed the cat or whatever I was supposed to do. Anyways, it was a very close and exciting match that I unfortunately had to leave in the middle of, since the young single adult ward was doing baptisms for the dead. Yeah, some things are even bigger than the World Cup. Crazy, I know, but it's priceless to assist the YSA, and from the looks of things, their numbers were quite low Saturday, meaning I could have been a crucial part to them actually getting the work done. I checked back up on the score with my Apple Watch and saw England up 2-1, who ended up clutching the victory. Intense game, but an even more intense spirit in the temple, and priceless memories this week. How great it was to get a free Slurpee on 7-Eleven Day, too. I got the blue raspberry flavor from the Yuba City one, and pina colada from the Marysville location. There were definitely some other good-looking ones, too. Cherry, green apple, and even peach, which was perfect since the next week I'd be working hard, keeping the city peachy clean. Get it? Because peach... How? Help me, guys, please. Welcome back, everyone, to the week's ramble. Yep, it's that time where I explain to you how crazy my mission gets. But as for now, we can start off with... Oh gosh, what even happened this week? It was all fairly normal at Bishop's Storehouse and temple cleaning, so we're gonna have to jump all the way to Wednesday to find something even remotely interesting. That would be a service mission activity in Roseville, where we all met up to play some pickleball and Ghosts in the Graveyard. A fun and different take on hide and seek to make it very creepy. I really should have taken some video because it was genuinely a terrifying experience. Especially because I had never been in this building before and had zero sense of direction. Regardless though, it was a fun time and definitely worth the hours-long drive to get down there. Our service mission activities are always worth it. Another interesting thing in the middle of the week was on Thursday, because the teaching elders in our area were in a bit of a predicament. That's because recently they were given a mileage limit on their cars, which I assume was put in place because of California's insanely high gas prices. Whatever the reason though, it's a new rule. However, there is a bit of a loophole. since us service missionaries don't have any of these restrictions on our cars. See where I'm going with this? Nice try, President Jensen! But I could drive the elders around with 0 miles used on their cars. So the scheme began when I picked them up from their house and drove them around to a couple other contacts they have to teach. It wasn't entirely successful, but we were able to get at least one lesson in that day. No matter how much it cost me in gas and time, it is all worth it to get the elders even a single lesson. Yes, that evil scheme bit was just for dramatic effect. I checked with the Worstons and it's not only allowed, but even encouraged for us to help the others like that. Okay, but anything else? Well, really not until the weekend. But some interesting things happened there at least. The first of which was Mornings in the Garden, which you may remember from a few weeks ago where I helped teach about first aid kits. It's a meetup for special needs children that my mom runs. Or rather, bikes! As this Saturday, I was helping out with a bike safety course and got to help the kids design a custom mini license plate. I didn't do as much this time because, to be fair, what is there for you to really do besides monitor the area? But I did design a couple license plates of my own to give to my Nana and Mom who were there, which was really neat and a great expression of kindness to remember the event by. Oh, also, Millennium Kart Racing in Yuba City! A fun time as always, but they also let us try their new augmented reality game. Basically, if you've ever used an Xbox Kinect, it's like that, but more accurate. Fun to try it out for them. Later on Saturday, we visited one of our classic Yuba Sutter events, the Marysville Peach Festival! But we weren't there to have fun. Oh, no. We were on a mission. Say Love had started a last-minute activity to clean up at the Peach Festival, and so we joined up with them to keep our community clean. I always love going to the festival. It's really fun. It just has so much local charm to it. Now just think about being able to go while also calling it a service site. What a deal! We had little grabbers and a bucket, and by the end, we made about 4 or 5 full buckets worth of collected trash. I also got to try this awesome peach cobbler and some peach lemonade too. Even an entire peach for free! And finally, something a little bit more personal, but still kind of crazy. As you may know, this Sunday was my Family Search Ancestor presentation. Yeah, this week. If you're confused because I usually do it on the first Sunday of the month, congratulations! I was too. This month's presentation was so interesting that I want to make sure everyone was around to see. But then it was 4th of July, and then my dad was out of town. And after that, my Nana's trip to Georgia. No one was really available. So right now, it was. The ancestor I was presenting on was on my grandpa's side of the family. And for the longest time, it looked like there wasn't going to be a lot to talk about. Their records weren't put into Family Search or Ancestry or any other genealogy applications I looked at. So I asked my granddad about it, and he told me that he had personal documents about these exact people that no one else knew about. They had never been digitized before, so in addition to making the presentation to share their life story, I also got to do a little bit of family history myself and get these documents saved for all time. Oh, also, yeah, the World Cup final. I actually didn't even watch it since I was at church. I just kept tabs on the score with my phone. How anticlimactic. But I did watch the third place match, and that one was some good stuff. They got like double the goals of any other World Cup game I'd seen. In fact, a lot of stuff has been doubled this month. Like double driving, double conference, and double bubble.
Yes, that's the title.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk. First on the agenda, my personal schedule. Oh, don't give me that! Well, whatever. For those of you still with us, here's what I did. It was really not much, but stick with me here. The things that did happen, I think, were really awesome. Oh! Starting with Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. The teaching elders again requested I give them a ride. Yeah, it wasn't just a one-off thing. They well and truly were using all of their miles for teaching on their own. Which is great! Although I did have to drive backwards on a road between water and a hill, since there was nowhere to turn around. That was scary. Still though, oddly enough, I have actually benefited from the mileage limit. The actual limit, as I said, doesn't apply to service missionaries, but the ripple effect of it, causing our teaching elders to struggle a little more on gas, actually gained me a valuable opportunity to serve. I joked around about it last week, but now that it's really sunk in, I may actually be cheering on this policy. Who knew? And boy, am I glad they don't track my car, since just one service mission conference would use all of it. Yeah, this time it was to be had all the way in Chico, and be quite a bit different than conferences in the past. While we did have some quite solemn moments and learning opportunities, we also just let loose a little bit and played some fun games as a mission. Just want to say too, whenever I think outside the box with chopsticks, my strategies get banned. If you know, you know. Oh, and did I mention that the Jensens joined us at the conference? How fun it is to see them in person. And we may have even tricked Mission President Jensen into eating something he hated. Oh yeah, I wasn't content with just giving the others free travel miles. My evil plans never stop, President Jensen. Cue the tense music. Disguised as a standard missionary activity, Sister Worston added several team-based games using food items. Fine enough. Things like an egg on a spoon race and moving Reese's Puffs with chopsticks. But then, she asked us to blow bubblegum. The thing is, President Jensen hates gum, or at least hadn't had any since childhood. But he took the bait. In an effort to be included in the activity, he ate gum, which he dislikes. Oh yeah, the gum activity was messy too. But that's just how gum is. And we found lots of it on the streets of Marysville with Salem. They were going to have a bigger cleanup, but there was a funeral being hosted on the same day, and many people were preoccupied directing traffic. So, with not much else to do, we just walked down the streets of Marysville and did what we do best. There was quite a bit of gum, and even more stickers, probably put there during the Peach Festival last week. We went up and down D Street, making it pristine. And I'd say we fairly accomplished that goal. And, sticking to the theme of finding insane stuff while cleaning these up, we happened to see a bucket of pee just sitting on the street. That and a piece of a car tire. But, leaving the best for last, we have Sunday. That day I went out to Sacramento for a combined YSA conference. Another insane drive, by the way. But I wasn't driving this time. No. It was actually way cooler than that, as I got to ride in a Mustang convertible on the way there. I genuinely looked like the coolest man alive in it. But was scared my things would fly away. Thankfully, though, they made it there safely with me. We joined the Sacramento YSAs for a beautiful session of their state conference, which we in Yuba Sutter were asked to join to make it an even bigger event. Worth our time, too. Not only did they have some insane speakers and memorable quotes, but they topped it off with a tri-tip meal. And that's where they got me. Well, that's all I got. The 5th week of July will be grouped with August, so that's all I got for now. I strongly urge you to go back and check if you've missed one of the previous episodes of this series. The playlist will be right in one of these spots on the screen here, so you can check it out. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time!